Okay, good morning. This is my discussion video on special penal laws. Actually, this is a supplemental discussion videos. So let us start with Module 1, and that is RA 3019, the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices, and RA 6713, or the Code of Conduct and Ethical Standards for Public Officials and Employees. So what is really 3019? So actually, the punishable act here is a government employee is requesting, receiving any gift, present, or share, or percentage or benefit for any or any other person in connection with a contract or transaction between the government. So if a government official enter a contract with a private entity and he get a share on that, he get a percentage on that, then he could be held liable for 3019. Example, the governor have a project of road widening, and that's 10 million. The 20 million or the 20% was his share. Then that is punishable under 31. I think we have example here. Police Major Cayetano is a logistic officer of police station. He able to purchase 100 computer sets for the operation of the cybercrime unit of the station in the amount of 1 million. From this transaction, Major Cayetano gets 20% of the total purchase price, which is 200,000 for personal gain. If you are the officer of the Internal Affairs Service conducting the investigation, what charge are you going to file? So he received a percentage from the transaction. So he can be liable under 3019. Okay, 3019. Now later I will discuss bribery and malversation in relation to 3019. Another punishable act here is if you approve or grant a license, a permit, or a privilege or a benefit in favor of one person not qualified, or not legally entitled to such license, then you can be held criminally liable. Business permit, license like our gun firearms license, our driver's license, our PRC license. So if you give a person that license, even if he's not qualified, then you'll be liable under 3019. Example, you are a personnel of LTO issuing driver's license. Mark applied for driver's license with lacking requirements. So he's not qualified. You denied this application. Mark persuaded and offered 1,000 as bribe money. You accepted money and issued the license. What crime have you committed? So the answer here will be 3019. Bakit hindi bribery? Well, it could be bribery also because you receive money, but the most appropriate here is 3019 because remember it was the Mark who offered the money. Okay, it was Mark who offered the money. Okay, so the most appropriate is violation of 3019, but it could be in relation to bribery also. Now, what is malversation as compared to 3019? Now, malversation, if you divert the money, for example, there's a money intended for school building, and you divert this budget, this money, you construct a bridge instead of school building without law, without ordinance, then that is malversation. You divert the money for this purpose to another purpose. Like in this case, according to Lacson, there is malversation in the PhilHealth case. Why? Because the money intended for particular purpose was diverted to another purpose, to IRM. Okay? IRM. So, that is malversation. Now, let's go to 6713 or the Code of Conduct and Ethical Standards for Public Officials and Employees. Now, this prohibits our public officials and employees to have financial material being interest in any transaction that they need to interfere. Okay? A public official employee shall not directly and indirectly have any financial or material interest in any transaction requiring the approval of their office. I think I have example in your module. Okay. For example, you are the chief of PSAGs and you issue license or permit or you supervise the security agency and your family has a security agency also, then you have material interest over a transaction which requires the approval of your office, which is not allowed under the law, under 6713, because that is conflict of interest. So basically, this is conflict of interest. You are the one issuing the license, the permit, you supervise that business or entity, and you have the business, that business also, then that is conflict of interest. Okay? And that is financial material interest. Now, another punishable act of 6713 is solicitation, acceptance of gift. If you are given gift, or you accept gift, or you solicit gift, okay, to a person, okay, it could be gift, gratuity, favor, increment, loan, or anything monetary value, to a person in connection with any operation being regulated by you, then that is punishable under 6713. Example, you are a division school superintendent, and there is this entity or business supplying papers, bad papers, or supplies to your school, and you solicit, you ask gift because it's your birthday, you can still be held liable under 6713. Now, plunder. When can we consider this plunder? Well, under the law, plunder is an act of amassing, accumulating, acquiring ill-gotten wealth through or combination of series of overt criminal acts in the aggregate amount of total values of at least 50 million pesos. Okay. What are the two things that you need to remember in plunder? One, there is acquiring. You acquire something, you amass, or you accumulate an ill-gotten wealth. And what do you mean by ill-gotten wealth? This is coming from illegal transaction. This is coming from a wealth that is coming from corruption. That's ill-gotten wealth. And the ill-gotten wealth that you collected, you are a government official here, is 50 million or more, then your crime will be plunder. Okay. So, to simplify it, no, if you acquire an ill-gotten wealth in the amount of 50 million or above, then that will be plunder. But if your corruption is only 20 million, 30 million, 40 million, that is not plunder. Because it does not reach the threshold amount of 50 million. So that could be 31-9, graft and corrupt practices, but that is not plunder. So here, we know Manong Johnny, no? Jinggoy, and Revilla, ang nakuha nila is 100,000, more than 100 million. So what will be the crime? So their crime is plunder. Although Bong was acquitted because of lack of evidence, Jinggoy, the case is still going on, and Revilla, the case is still going on. But that charge is plunder. Why? Because they accumulated more than 50 million. So, for example, another illustration. The provincial director of PNP has amassed 20 million from the construction of municipal police station. He also received 20 million from the procurement of police mobile, another 20 million for procurement of firearms. If you are the chief of Internal Affairs Service, what crimes are you going to charge? Well, remember, tag 20 million to 20 million, if you're going to add this one, you aggregate this amount, that is 60 million. Okay? That is 60 million. So, what will be the crime here? The crime will be plunder. Because the total amount, 20 million, 60 million, it's more than 50 million. Okay? So, the crime will be plunder. Okay? Now, jurisdiction. Where will you file plunder cases? Saan mo ipapile yung information on plunder? As amended by RA 7659, a person found guilty of crime of plunder shall be punished by reclusion perpetua to death. All prosecution of plunder shall be within original jurisdiction of the Sandigang Bayan. Because this is a graft court. This is corruption court. Sandigang Bayan. So, you will file plunder cases in Sandigang Bayan. Ito. Assuming you are a graft investigator of Office of the Ombudsman conducting investigation regarding anonymous complaint filed with your office. The anonymous complaint involves alleged anomalies in the procurement of assault helicopter by the Philippine National Police. This was spearheaded by no less than the Chief PNP. Police General Dalisay. After thorough investigation, you discover the following. The procurement was without necessary bidding. Walang bidding. So, it's illegal. The price of assault helicopter is very excessive. The price of helicopter is excessive. And the PMH received 50 million from the supplier of the project. So, what will be the crime? Well, as grant investigator, what will be course action? You file information with the Sandigang Bayan for plunder. Okay? You file. Why? Because the case is plunder, 50 million, and you need to file, basta plunder case, you need to file it with the Sandigang Bayan. Now, let's go to Module 3, and this is violence against women. Now, remember, to constitute violence against women, there must be relationship, and there must be abuse. And what are the different kinds of relationship? It could be marital, mag-asawa, sexual, and dating. We'll discuss this one. And what are our different abuse? Physical abuse, sexual, psychological, and economic. Now, marital, mag-asawa, dating refers to a situation where parties live as husband and wife, live-in partner, okay, without the benefit of marriage. And those romantically involved over time in continuing basis, mag-oyab, no, girlfriend-boyfriend relation, that is dating relationship. Now, this law applies also to homosexual relation. Okay, lesbian and babae, bayot o lalaki, no? So, those are homosexual relation. But this law will apply only to lesbian and woman relationship. Sexual relation refers to single sexual act which may not result in bearing of common child. So, there are relationship na walay label, no? There are some relationship na FF, fucking friends, friends with benefits. This law will apply because that is sexual relation. As long as there is already single sexual act, then there is a relationship. Now, example, Mr. J is a known member of LGBTQIA and a right advocate. He has an office mate, Miss M, a devoted Catholic and hated the third sex community. In one fine morning, the two reached in a heated argument. Mr. J punched Miss M several times, hitting her face and other several parts of the body, which resulted to confinement of latter in hospital for 5 days. Okay. Can we charge Mr. J, the LGBT, a member of LGBTQIA of violence against women? The answer is no. Because there is no relationship. There is no relationship between Mr. J and Miss M. They're just office mate. No, walay dating, walay sexual, walay marital relationship. So you can apply violence against women. So what will apply? Slight physical injury. Why? Because the confinement only lasted for 5 days. Remember, slight physical injury is 1 to 9 days, 10 to 30 days. So less serious, more than 30 days is serious physical injury. Okay? So what are the different forms of violence? We have physical, kicking, punching, slapping, sexual, rape, sexual harassment, actual abusiveness. Psychological, I want you to remember the intimidation, harassment, stalking, and mental infidelity. Mental infidelity is a form of psychological abuse. Ito. Daniel and Catherine, a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. However, after 5 months of dating relationship, so there is a relationship, Catherine wants to break up due to third-party issues. Daniel wants to win Catherine back, so he always follow Catherine whenever she went. One night, Catherine received a message through messenger from Daniel of her nude photos with caption, "Pag hindi ka makipagbalikan sa akin, ikakalat ko yung picture." Na yan, no? Catherine went to WCPD o PNP and asked for assistance. What are the crime committed by Daniel? Is there a relationship? Yes. Is that intimidation? Is that threat? Is that harassment? Yes. So the crime will be violation of supposedly the crime here is violence against women. Okay, violence against women. And economic abuse. What is economic abuse? This is example of this is withdrawal of financial support or preventing victim from engaging in legitimate profession. So example this one, PNP reports hike in case of cops abandoning wives. Non-support. So what is the crime of the cop? The police? Violence against women. Then you have RA 7877, Sexual Harassment and Safe Spaces Act. I think I don't have time anymore. But remember, in order to constitute the crime of sexual harassment, there must be authority, influence, and moral ascendancy, and demands, requests, or requires for sexual favor. So just read your module. Everything is there. You study, and good luck in your examination. Thank you.